It's not just how rich, it's how long you've been rich.
Right.
So if you were rich instantly and you're gonna go buy a Lambo, stupid.
But you don't even have enough money to give advice on money. Yeah, man. I think you are such a damn trap right now. You don't have any money.
This is how I started my career. Door to door, I was selling fish. That story has like haunted me for 50 years trying to figure out, okay, is it save money, protect it, and not play with it? Or is it accumulate so many that you can actually lose some? I was at a dinner in the Hamptons. There was 52 billionaires in the room. I was the poorest person in the room.
How did that feel though?
It felt inspiring. I'm like, fuck, god damn, the possibility. I don't have envy.
I want to get to the top of the food chain where I get to start making rules. He who has the goal makes the rules.
This is 60 minutes of stories and life lessons from Grant Cardone. My name is Kirill Veretin and I wish you to find a lot of insights over the next hour. Enjoy!
Like I look at my financial statement every day, where things are, but I'm trying to get rid of that. I'm not trying to keep money.
Yeah.
You know, the system wants you to keep money. The banks say, hey, stay liquid, save your money, plan for retirement, have 3-month savings accounts. But all these are myths. These are not things that are good for people. You don't want money. Money makes you lazy. Money gives you this false sense of okay, you're going to be all right because you saved 3 months of money. Dave Ramsey has no clue what he's He's talking to people about barely getting by. I'm talking to an audience that wants to get rich,
Just trying to really like make
something big, like become like Robert Smith rich. You know, he's the wealthiest black man in America, or Don Peoples, my friend, who's worth a couple $1 billion in playing in the real estate game, or you know, like. I want to get to the top of the food chain where I get to start making rules. He who has the goal makes the rules. And so I don't want a little money. I don't want a retirement account. I don't want my house paid for. I don't care about any of that stuff. I want to get rich. I want to create tremendous amounts of wealth for the people that my community.
So what is it that most millionaires don't understand that billionaires do, like yourself?
Well, one is they get satisfied on the $1 million, right? They get like they're grinding out for the million. They get satisfied. They get happy. Like the first $1 million I made, it wasn't a score. Like I think a lot of people think it's going to be a score, and they're going to be, oh, I'm a millionaire. Like you won a lottery ticket. It's not going to happen like that. It's going to be a grind out, and then one day you're going to look up and say, oh, damn, you got 3 or 4 accounts, and I got $1 million or £1 million in an account, and then you're going to be like, I'm a millionaire, and then you're going to be like, oh, now what do I do? Because what you did to get that is not what you're going to do to do that 1,000 times. I mean, $1 billion is $1 million 1,000 times. The first million, you don't know what you're doing, and typically, in the second million, you're like you're going to do it different than the first million. And then if you start stacking it, and you're like, I got 3 or 4 or whatever, you're just repeating whatever you did. Hopefully, now the people that never get past the million quit doing what they did to get to the first million. The guy gets $1 million. He was frugal. He wasn't doing, he wasn't celebrating. He's working his ass off. He makes $1 million. Next thing you know, this happens to rappers, ball players, and entrepreneurs. They get $1 million and they're like, I'm gonna go buy a Lambo. That's not what got you your $1 million. That was a complete violation of the formula and the condition that actually got you what you wanted. And so you should have doubled down on whatever you did and not changed anything. Then you get stuck. Like if you do the right thing, you'll double down, 10x down, and you'll start repeating the activity and then trying to scale yourself to whatever got you that first million so that you can now say, okay, I'm gonna get to 10 million down now, but I'm gonna do it in 2 years, not 10 years. By definition, the second half of that, most people are not entrepreneurs because they never take on any risk. Like they're holding on to their money. They got cash in the banks. They got equity in their houses. They're saving money, saving for retirement. If you're doing any of that shit.
Versus putting the balls against the fucking wall,
you're
right?
You're a bitch. You're like, what are you doing, dude? You're more committed. People are more committed to the equity in their home than they are to the equity of their brand or business. So I made this mistake for years.
In your own life?
Yeah.
By the way, hit the like button and follow my YouTube channel because I already work on the next video like this.
Yeah, so Dad gives us each a quarter.
Yeah.
This is 1963, maybe 1964. John Kennedy's probably president. Gives us a quarter, dude, and you would think that me and Gary would like ballers, straight up shot callers, okay? Like, man, you got a quarter, dude. Like, I'm starting to think about what am I gonna buy with this? Because this is when you could buy some shit with the quarter. I mean, you could buy gum, some lifesavers. This is before the big gummy lifesavers that they got today.
The bubble gum, the baseball gum,
it cost a penny. Giant.
They cost a penny.
It was a penny, but they were freaking like 10 times the size.
That's right.
And so I'm going over there, man. I'm flipping my coin, playing with my coin, and bang, my coin falls into this gutter. Big manhole. This is the old manholes they'd have like a 12-inch space between the grates where your ankle could actually fall through it. Like these were not safe to walk on, okay? And so I can put my whole arm down there, but I can't reach the quarter. I am losing my mind.
You're gutted, dude.
I'm
You're
gutted.
gutted.
I'm crying. Oh my God, I lost my quarter. I'm not really, the one thing is I'm not going to be able to buy anything, but the second thing is I got to tell my dad I lost a quarter, bro. And like, I know this comes with a physical punishment.
Oh, you think he's going to hit you
100%.
for losing a quarter?
I know for
You
sure.
think this?
I'm going to get my ass whooped because he's going to teach me a lesson. I go home. I'm crying. What's wrong? I'm like, I lost the quarter. How'd you lose the quarter? And he's standing over me. How'd you lose? And Dr. Care's there. So now I got to be publicly humiliated. My dad didn't know any better. He thought he was teaching me something, right? And he was. Grandpa was there. Tony Neal was
Tony
there.
Neal.
So Tony Neal
What
was
a
a completely
naughty,
different
naughty
person.
boy.
Other end of the spectrum. He's
Yeah.
like, he either has $5,000 on him or he's broke.
Yeah.
And so my dad stands over me, probably trying to impress the other people in the room, and says, never play with money. Never play with money, man. I was like, oh my God, man. Never play with money. And I was like, okay. And this really damaged me for years with money.
Yeah.
Grandpa Tony grabs me maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes later in the kitchen and says, look, your dad said never play with money. There can be value to that. Or the other part of the lesson could be never go any place with just one quarter.
Bingo. I like that one.
I know you would, because
I
that's how you
love
live,
that,
dude. You live like that. But those two things, that story has like haunted me for 50 years trying to figure out, okay, is it save money, protect it, not play with it? Or is it accumulate so many that you can actually lose some?
When did you start selling?
When I had to.
So what was the
I started
what was your
selling when
first
I had-
what was your first job? Like a
It
formal
was
job.
was it a clothing store?
How
I was
old?
paid 6% on a $12 tie. I was 16 years old.
Okay.
So I'd make whatever that is, 6% of $12. I mean, I'd
Okay,
make
$7.20.
No, 72
72
cents.
Yeah, 72 cents. Yeah.
Yeah, I hated
Okay.
that job.
And how'd you do it? Were you good at it though?
No, I was terrible.
You weren't good at it.
I was terrible.
And
it was awful. The only time I was good at sales was when there was urgency on my part. Like I had to sell it. Like I sold furniture, I was terrible. I got fired. I sold clothes. I was fired from that job. And there was one other job. I think it was a refinery job. I lost that job. I lost 6 jobs. But the only time that I ever sold anything successfully was a bunch of fish that we had caught, redfish, red snappers. They caught hundreds and hundreds of them. And I was
You caught yourself.
I was on a supply boat
Okay.
out in New Orleans, Louisiana, off the coast. I was doing 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and I was helping the cook. That was my job, right? It was a total labor boat. 3 of us on the boat. We'd bring supplies out to the oil rigs. I've never told this story, and one day we dropped lines over the boat in about 120 foot of water, and we would drop lines, and it would have 120 foot line, not a fishing pole, a line.
Right.
A rope, dude, with like 80 hooks on it. And you just wait. You sit and wait and
Right.
do nothing. And then you go over there and you pull up 60 fish. Every line had 60 fish.
Really?
So like
Where was this now?
this is south of New Orleans.
Okay.
So we catch, I don't know, 300 or 400 fish. We couldn't even keep them all.
Right.
Snapper about this big. So I tell the guys, I'm like, hey guys, can I have your fish? I mean, we can't eat it all. So we put it on ice. And on the way home, when we came in like 8 days later, I stopped door to door. This is how I started my career. Door to door, I was selling fish.
To homes. To restaurants.
To businesses.
God, okay, to
To
restaurants.
State Farm agents. Hey guys, I got some fish.
right.
It's fresh as shit right here.
You
right?
know, I did the same job, by the way, but with boxes of frozen steak and meat and fish. Yeah.
Well, I didn't have enough ice. I didn't plan or I didn't know
Right.
what I was doing. So the fish was going bad.
Got it.
And I'm like, I have to sell this shit.
Right.
Otherwise, it's going to go
So
bad.
what was your rap? What was your pitch back then?
Hey guys, I got fish. I got fish. That was my fucking.
I'll
stick.
give you really good
That-
prices. They're
there's
about
my
to.
straight
If I don't
line
sell them now, they're going to go bad.
I got fish. I just caught them. You want them? And that's how I still sell today. By the way,
Okay.
like there's no You know, it's very direct, to the point, find out if you're interested, and then I move on. I was at a dinner in the Hamptons. There was 52 billionaires in the room. I was the poorest person in the room.
How did that feel though?
It felt inspiring. I'm like, fuck, God damn, the possibility. I don't have envy. I don't have any envy. Like, I don't have it. It is to me one of the most destructive things that people have is envy. I don't have that. Like, do I have a chip on my shoulder? Yeah. Do I want to be those guys? No, I don't want to be them. I want to be me. And they show me the possibility.
Do you think that's rare though? And how does someone get over that? Because most people want people to like them and they are envious of others.
Work. It doesn't work. You, like, just study the most successful people. They're like, I don't care if you like me or not. I like me. I have to like me. I have to know the truth for me. I got to know what my path is. I know what my goals and dreams are. The teacher in the classroom doesn't. Oh, you're thinking too big. My mom, I wanted to start a real estate business when I was 31 years old. Called my mom up. She's my best friend. I said, Mom, I'm going to start a real estate business. You don't want to do that, son. That's going to be a bunch of problems. That was $4 billion she would almost talk me out of. I'm like, oh, you crazy? What's wrong with you? Stay in your lane, mama. Love me, support me, feed me. You make great apple pie. Do not give me financial advice.
Anybody that set their sights on you would be thinking too small.
They'd be thinking too small.
100%. They should have gone to, I want to be Oprah. You know, but they said, I can be Lewis. Okay. Lewis is achievable for me. You pick the fruit off the tree you can see. You know, we for whatever reason, my regret is that I didn't say, bro, I'm going to go to the top of the tree. In fact, I'm going to own the whole orchard.
Wow.
Or even the entire forest. You know, and I'm going to really make a difference. I'm going to be that Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan. I'm going to be legacy, 300, 400 years of dynasty kind of legacy thinking. That's the biggest regret of my life.
Really?
Yeah, because I know I could have done it.
A lot of times I hear people tell me, man, money's not everything. Money's not everything, man. Like I kind of know what you want to say, but I want to hear you say
it's not everything. 100% is not everything, but it buys everything.
Exactly.
There's nothing it doesn't buy.
Come on.
Even health.
Come on.
You want better health?
Yeah.
Takes money.
Magic Johnson would be dead if he wasn't a big.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So you guys that you know, I don't. First of all, I don't even know why you go, money ain't everything. You don't even have enough money to give advice on money.
Yeah, man.
I think you are shut your damn trap right now. You don't have any money. If you don't have any money, quit talking about it.
Yeah. Money.
Just start walking around talking about how you don't have any money.
Yeah.
And what do you want to do about it? Don't tell me that money isn't everything. I know that money isn't everything. It's the only thing that buys a jet.
Come on, man.
It's the only thing that pays for my kids' clothes.
Let's go.
It's the only thing that'll take care of, put us on a trip if we want to go someplace.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that buys advertising on Google or Facebook. They don't take freaking biceps.
Yeah. My son can't eat happiness.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know.
Exactly. Everybody's like, oh, money won't make you happy. I'm not looking for happy.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some money right now so I can create some wealth, I can own some property. So one day I don't have to work so much because money's coming in because of the assets I own. And then I can go worry about being happy. And you know, you need to get around people that have stuff that you don't have and that have done stuff you haven't done. And have dreams. You need to get around people that have inflated dreams and dreams that your neighborhood can't think with and your community doesn't even, like, you're like, I want to get a boat. Okay, well, you before you decide on a boat, you might want to go see somebody who's got a 300-foot yacht because it might change the things that you're thinking about. And before you say, hey, I want to buy a Lamborghini, you should go visit a Lamborghini car dealer and talk to him about owning a Lamborghini dealership rather than owning a Lamborghini. So, like, because I believe that anybody can do this stuff.
I agree.
I think it starts with the think. We're limited in our thinking because we're middle class. Most of us are brought up poor middle class, and we're limited by the examples that we're raised by. This is a problem too because we take advice from everyone. That's a big mistake that I made as a young man. I would take advice from anyone. Like, I was so hungry. And I think this is more your audience than the lazy person. I know we put a lot of attention on people that don't follow up, but I think a bigger problem is you guys take advice from everybody. You watch their clip, you take their advice, and then you go listen to Dave Ramsey, and then you move to Boo Boo, and then you go over here to Jim. And by the time you're done, the reason you don't do anything, I actually don't believe in laziness. I believe laziness is caused because of confusion. People don't do anything because they're go left, go right, go straight. At that point, I'm like, the best thing to do is stop because I don't know where I'm going.
So that's why I tell you, man, the thing that's really helped me is I'll take one guy and study his entire life. And I could study that life for years, maybe 2 years or 3 years, one person, and never take any other content in.
On the money game, it should have never been 10x, dude.
Well, it should have been 100.
I always said it should have been 100x, but I did 10x because people couldn't think with it.
Yeah.
So, but really, you know, I was thinking too small back then.
Really?
I'm still thinking too small. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
You're thinking bigger than back then.
Oh yeah, 100. But
Like
it's
you feel
still,
like you're-
I'm still thinking too small, right?
But
So
but I'm also curious, like, if you overthink, let's say I'm 1,000x right now,
Yeah.
and you're not prepared for that type of wealth or pressure or experience or opportunity, then is that too big, too fast?
no, you should still think bigger because you're not going to know thinking smaller, right? You're not going to know. You're never going to get there. Right. I mean, look, the guy thinks too small and he wins a $1 billion lottery ticket. And he got lucky. He's got problems too. He's just got new problems. He doesn't know what to do with the money.
Right.
So if I would have thought bigger, I don't have the problem of not taking action. Okay, so I'm not that guy. I'm not. You got to deal with whatever you got, right? But I know this: if I thought smaller, I would have taken fewer actions. When you start thinking really big, you have to. If you're going to go get this thing, if you're serious about whatever that thing is, I thought here because I thought I was thinking, oh yeah, that's achievable. But how can a child, a 3-year-old, think that they can pick up 100 pounds or ride a big horse? They can't. It's like not achievable until daddy picks him up, puts him on it, and he's like, oh, I can ride a horse. You know, I can ride it. But when he's looking up, he's like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're looking you don't have anything and you're just hungry, it's hard to dream, man.
Yeah.
Because your stomach's saying, pay attention to me. Or pay attention to my kids or shoes or whatever your crunch is. Oh, inflation, cost of bananas. This is a fear cycle, man. This is like it's them marketing fear to us to stay small. So we become consumers, not doers.
So you buy something.
So I bought a deal in Nashville. I'll tell you about a deal I bought in Nashville.
Let's hear about it.
So as soon as I saw the deal, it came across my desk. I said, I'm buying this 823 units, 4 properties in Nashville as a portfolio. Guy in Chicago owned it, professional real estate guy. They own 10,000 units. Only property he had here was these last 4. Bad loan on the deal. Bad loan meaning I had to adopt the property and the loan. Nobody would buy the deal because the loan sucked. Okay, high rate of interest. It was 5 3/4 or something. I said, I'm buying this deal for sure. Okay, because I'm just going to sweat out the bad loan. When the bad loan's gone, this fucking property is going to be worth a lot of money because it's 823 units. We bought the deal for $53 million. I put, it was 63 million. I put $5 million down. That's all I had to put down. It was $58 million loan. I'm like, I'm stealing this thing. Everybody's like, you're fucking crazy buying this. To me, I'm like, I'm stealing this. I'm buying 800 units for $5 million. Okay. I just got to sit out with this shit loan. So I buy the deal. I'm in the hospital when the bank is supposed to give me the stamp. I had this heart thing happen to me, a ring around my heart, some kind of virus, right? And so the Sunday night, I tell my wife, I said, I think I got to go to the hospital. I can't do this. 10:30, I tried to put it off. 11:30, I'm like, I think I got to go.
Was it like erratic heartbeat and shit?
No, it was just pressure, dude, pressure on my heart, you know? And so I'm like, did I eat something bad, you know? And like 4:30 in the morning, I said, fuck it, I got to get out of here. She was with a kid. We had a kid at the house that was sleeping. So I drove to the hospital by myself. It was 1 mile away. I didn't even know if I was going to make it. I get to the hospital, 8:30 in the morning, I'm still in there. They want to hit me up with morphine and shit. I'm like, I can't, dude. I can't. I got this meeting coming up and I got to get out of here. And they're like, you're not leaving here today. I said, I got a group coming in here to approve me for $58 million. They got to know I'm healthy. So I got to leave, guys. They're like, you're not leaving. So I pulled everything out, got in my car, drove to my office. This is a true story, man. Drove to my office. Okay. These guys are already in my office at 9:15 in the morning. I walk in, I'm white. I still have the little green thing. I hide it under me, right? And I'm white. And I'm like, guys, this is where the sales thing does work, right? So, because I only got one audience right now. So I said, hey, guys, look, I've been with my best friend. I mean, somebody I'm so dear and close to.
I've been with them. He's in the hospital. He's not doing well. And so as soon as this meeting's over with, I've been with him all night. I'm really worried about him. And when this meeting's over with, I'm going straight back to him.
And you were telling the truth.
The whole thing was the truth. That's what I always tell the truth. Sometimes you can tell too much of the truth. That would have been stupid for me to say, it's me in the hospital, right? Because they couldn't approve them.
Right.
We sold that property. The hold on that was 10 years. We sold it 37 months later for $91 million.
Wow. That's awesome.
$28 million score. $5 million turned into, $28 million.
Got it.
Can't do that doing sales training.
Right.
It's just impossible.
And so one day I was with him and he's like, hey man, what do you want from me?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, what I want from you is, I said, I mean, nothing really. He's like, yeah, you want something. I said, if I had my wish list, I'd just see your bank statement. And he's like, what? I said, just your bank statement. I just want to see it.
Yeah.
I was fascinated. What does his statement look like?
Right.
$367 million at one account. And I was looking at this, I was like, dude, Schwab account, Merrill Lynch account. Like he had all these accounts, a Bank of America account with like 400 million. Like I was like, oh my God. And for me, it was like, it's real. Yeah. It's real. Those are numbers. This is a regular guy. Now, the second thing I thought about was, okay, I'm in the wrong space. I can't do this doing what I do.
The wrong vehicle.
Yeah. Now this is, let me see what year this was, 2000. No, it wasn't. No. That's 4 years ago. No, this is more like maybe 6.5 years ago. This is only maybe 2015.
Okay.
In the next 7 years, I would go from where I'm at then to like cracking a brick.
And that's when you decided to start Cardone Capital.
Then I started looking at, I'm in the wrong space. Yeah. This space cannot churn enough money. I'm not reaching enough people. I'm not marketing enough. Not enough people know me. My product lineup is wrong. Yeah. Like I was in the right I was on the right field, just the wrong position.
Got it.
You're surrounded by, poverty. You're surrounded by little think. You're surrounded by addiction. You're surrounded by slavery. Yeah. Look. I mean, there's as much slavery in the country today as there ever has been. You got 300 million people in this country that are slaves. It's called the middle class. They just made it to a place.
Right.
They just made it. I can pay my bills. I can pay my mortgage. Look what they're paying for. I can pay my house. I paid my house off now. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I paid the house off. I don't have that anymore. I got a retirement account. These 5 things that I just mentioned are simply machine. They're the machine. You're feeding the machine. You're stuck. You're not free yet. So for the young guy out there with nothing, dude, your first target needs to be a 1% club.
Got it.
Second thing, that means you need to suffer until you get there. No cars, no bracelets, no watches, no glow, no like.
For sure.
You're not doing the shine and I'm popping and I'm rocking because you ain't gonna fool me with your shit.
Yeah.
Guys like me, they don't care.
Guy comes up, he wants to sell part of his company, he wants me to look at it. He drives up in a Rolls Royce. Before he sat down in the chair, I knew the deal was done. He was 25 years old. I'm 24, 25 years old. I'm like, there's no way I'd go in business with him.
Why is that?
Because he's a degenerate. He had a new company. It wasn't even doing that well. Okay, what the fuck you doing with a goddamn, don't try to impress me with your car. By the way, that's only going to impress your bullshit friends.
Right.
It's not going to impress a real guy.
So how rich do you need to be to get a car like that?
Well, it's not just how rich, it's how long you've been rich.
Right.
So if you were rich instantly and you're going to go buy a Lambo, stupid. It's stupid, man. Like it looks stupid. Like I could have bought a Rolls Royce when I was 40 years old. I didn't buy it because I'm like, I'm too young for that car. I didn't have a Rolex until I was 42 years old. I could have bought the Rolex when I was 31 years old. I didn't. Why? Because I was buying assets. I wasn't trying to show off and get approval from people. The Rolls Royce, the Gucci, the Versace, the belts, all that stuff is just trying to get approval. Now, if you're a woman and you're wrapping up in Chanel, like my wife, she wears Chanel, so she's rocking this Hermes hat, drives me fucking nuts. I hate all that shit. It probably took me a good year of getting
Stabilized.
sobriety and stabilized, not using drugs, to like, okay, I can start to trust myself. Then I started paying people back for the damage I caused, or at least making an effort to. And then I started being effective as a salesman. It's the only job I could get. I didn't go into car sales because I wanted to. I went into car sales because that's the only people that would hire me.
Right.
And then I started getting good at that, and I started saying, man, I remember I went from making $2,500 a month to $3,500 a month. The most important money I have ever made in my life was that $1,000. It is not the hundreds of millions or whatever I've made, over the internet. It was that first $1,000 said, oh, wow, I have control. I can
It's up to you.
If I can get better, if I can just get better, if I can make a commitment, stay clean, and get a little better every day, and then I ended up reaching the top 1% in the auto industry in a job I hated, didn't like, didn't want, didn't choose, and I just took it.
Somebody said last night we were doing something together. Oh, that we were both wealthy when we showed up. It's like, where did that
on Twitter
happen?
Spaces, the guy said, hey, you guys grew up wealthy.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, we stole 14-foot aluminum skiffs for entertainment on the weekend.
Yeah.
And by the way,
And
we would
lost one
only
of them.
we couldn't afford the gas to put
That's
in
right.
the motor. So not only would we steal it from the neighbor, again, this is back in the 70s and 80s, nobody locked anything up. But if you got caught, you were going to go to jail, unlike today. But we stole those skiffs, sank one of them, abandoned the other one, but we had a good time.
Dude, we had a blast. That was so fun.
40% of the people that were making $1 million a year or something said they were living paycheck to paycheck. But that's not because of inflation. That's because they spent money they shouldn't have spent. They thought they were entitled to because they're millionaires.
They live above their means.
They live above their investments, not their means.
Interesting.
They lived within their means but never invested.
Right.
And thought that they were always going to be more valuable and more valuable. That's not how value works. Your value as a human being is going to go like this. Okay, it's going to go up. Whatever you're doing, you're going to go. Hopefully, you get to go up. You don't go flatline the whole career. I mean, if you're a maid and you never got better at being a maid, you're going to be flat the whole time, right? But if you go from maid to I'm going to own a series of
Right. You get more skills. You get
more skills. Now I own a company. Your value is going to go up, but sooner or later your value is going to start arcing out.
Why is that?
Technology. You're getting older. You can't service as many people. You didn't grow your company, and the value of your company or your talents. You're a baseball player. You're making $40 million a year. Sooner or later, bro, they ain't gonna pay you anything. Tom Brady, he was making a bunch of money. He's going to be paid more as a commentator.
Crazy.
So he's going to have a boom. He's going to have a big spike because his brand is so much. Now, if he draws an audience. If he doesn't draw an audience, contract will be renegotiated and or they'll kill him and his income will go down. But he should have been loading up on assets. I've always been preparing for this bell curve to do this. Well, Grant's no longer valuable to people. And with the point where I'm no longer valuable,
You got
my
assets that are
assets
bringing
are going to
value.
be like, boom. They'll kick my value up.
Interesting.
They'll catch up with my earned income and replace it. Right? And people should have that target. Your target should be not to make more money, but to have more money that you don't make to match what you do make.
From your investments.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm making 80 grand a year, back in that example, 80 grand a year, and then I'm going to go to 800. Let's say you figured that out. Along the way, you're just accumulating assets with the other 700,000 so that one day your 800 grand that you're making now, you're making another 800 from income from the investments. So when the first income goes away, that second layer of investments starts to pay you and your family.
Mm.
And that becomes your life insurance. That becomes your Keogh 401k retirement plan. But you're investing in things that you own, not things Wall Street owns.
If someone has, let's say, a fairly small business, they might be self-employed or they might have 10 to 20 employees. What would your tangible advice be to help them scale that up to new levels?
10x.
And how tangibly can they do that?
You have 10 people, your new target should be 100 people. Now you're not going to go from 10 to 100 tomorrow because now you got a new problem. You're like, I don't have the payroll. Right. I don't have the income for it. I don't even know where to find 90 more people. Okay, good. That's your new problem. Right? So I'm doing $1 million in revenue. Okay, your goal is to go to 10 million. Do not try to go from 1 million to 1.2 million. The incrementals almost never work because it forces you to keep thinking in terms of incrementals. There's no big ideas, right? Because I'm like, okay, we're doing $10 million a year. the economy's getting worse. So you guys sit down in a budget meeting. Everybody does this. Guys, we need to go from 10 million. Let's just do 10 million again because the economy's bad. You're never going to keep it. Flat lines always fall. Now, if the group, by the way, everybody, your average people that you guys talk to every day, they're all thinking the same way. So what you want to do is think outside that box and say, no, while they're going to flatline, what we're going to do is we're going to take our business from $1 million a year to 10 million. How could we do that? Well, we can't do it. Okay, but how could we do it? Man, it's impossible. But how could we? Well, we can't even dude, why don't you go buy 10 businesses like yourself right now? It would be easier to buy 10 businesses in a recession than it would be to grow your business, and you just grew 10 times. And you didn't have to hire one person. But you got to think outside the box.
When did you said like, so you weren't successful early on. When was the shift? What was it like that moment where all of a sudden?
When I was 51.
51.
Yeah.
How old are you now? You're fucking older than me.
61.
You're older than me. I like that.
Yeah.
Tell me, what was the shift? What was it?
2010, man.
Tell me.
2010, I was just like, I had a little bit of success. You know, I had 3 companies that were doing well.
Right.
And
what were those companies? Was it sales training?
There was a sales training, a speaking business.
Okay.
That I had been doing for 20 years. And it had really become just about me collecting a fee. We would market it. We owned the production of the event. The only difference was I wasn't getting a speaking fee. I was getting a piece of the gate.
Okay.
So I didn't actually do any speaking for hire.
Speaking about sales?
Sales. It was all sales, and it was
industry specific? Or?
Yeah, it was automotive.
Okay.
I was very, very dependent upon the automobile industry. So I realized, number one, I'll never be dependent upon one industry again, ever. Number 2, the other business was a consulting business. It was similar in
auto.
That I didn't run. I was a partnership, and I collected a royalty with it, and that was great for years. It was great until it wasn't, right?
Right.
And then the third business was I would take all the money from the first 2 and pour it into real estate because I knew that real estate would live longer than I could.
Right.
And it would work better than I could. So the problem with all 3 of those, though, is I never did it big. Like, I never did it big.
What was the worst
No,
part?
and I mean, there was no bottom right there. It was like, oh, I got it. How long am I going to get dragged out, right? We didn't lose anything. I didn't go bankrupt. I didn't lose anything. All my buddies that were buying real estate and really doing a lot of no money down stuff, they lost everything. But I was terrified. Okay, I was so scared. I thought I'd left my family down, and we couldn't expand. I was too scared to expand, even though I had some cash. I had a great opportunity to invest in a great company. I would have. I loved the guy, and he wanted $1 million, a measly $1 million. I had it, but I couldn't give it to him, dude, because I was so scared. And so I realized then I will never be in this position again. That was 10 years ago. And what I did then was okay, I got to get other industries to know me. I got to get known. I got to start using these social mediums that I thought was a waste of time. You know, I'm like, this is all bullshit. And so I just leaned into it, dude, and we built a Facebook following, and yeah, and that changed everything. We didn't have any e-commerce going. We'll do 40 million in e-commerce this year.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, you didn't have online. There's so many ways to make money today. It's unbelievable.
It's amazing how much opportunity.
It's not even that crazy to do that. It's just a math class, right? So let's say I want to do 876.
Yeah.
And I'm broke, and I don't know anything. I'm starting for 0, which is fine. It don't matter that you're broke, as long as you hadn't quit. So like you can't break me. That means I can take a lot of risk because I'm not worried about going broke because I can't be broken. I have my spirituality, I have my creativity, I have my persistence, I got courage. Like there ain't no breaking me, man. Shit, I'm a dangerous man. I'm a dangerous beast.
Come on.
Okay. So 876. And I know strategy, right?
Yeah.
So if I take 876,000 divided by 365 days, I need to make $2,400 a day.
Yeah.
Divided by 24 hours, $100 an hour. And I'm gold.
Yeah.
I'm in the top 1% club. So I just broke it down. If I break that down by the minute, I need to make $1.67 a minute.
$1 a minute.
Now I start backing into it. I'm like, okay, I can't just do that. Okay, this is a $70,000 a year job. I only got $800,000 to work out now. Now I start working out. What could I do? See, but in school they don't teach you that. They teach you, hey, you need to learn a skill. I don't need a skill, bro. I need money.
Yeah.
I want to get tied in with the bank.
Come on.
How do I do that? Well, I need people skills. I know that. I need to learn how to market. I need to learn how to monetize. I need to learn how to convert people. I need to learn how to follow up. I need to be persistent. Like those are the things that we're going to be showing people next week that you can add. But the first most important thing is the target.
Okay, and how do you determine what that next financial goal is?
I don't determine. Like I just say, okay, $100 billion. I write that down. That was my morning target.
But is that just a gut feeling of
Bang,
that's what I want to have?
That's my next target. It's a target. It's like, bang, I want to go there. It's like picking a vacation. I don't know how to get there. I don't know what car I'm going to get. I don't even know what's over there. Dubai. Okay, let's put Dubai on there. Like, I don't even know why I want a helicopter. I've done all this. I did this. I've done this for 30 years. Every single thing. Like, if you go back and read the 10X rule, I'm writing my goals in that book. Every single thing that I said I would accomplish in that book, I exceeded 10 times. Like these goals, all your goals, first of all, people aren't writing them down. And number two, when you're writing them down, you're writing them too small. You will achieve more than you ever thought you could achieve.
So what would it take? I would have to have a target. Whatever the target is, 40 million. If somebody's like, I want to be a millionaire, boom, get a target. Number one, real target. Two, do math on it. How many different ways could I do that? So there's got to be a math path, a math way, not a pathway, but a math way, right? I could do one deal, 40 billion. I could do 5 deals at 8 billion. I could do 40 $1 billion deals. That's a little harder. I got to do 40 deals, right? It's easier actually to do fewer deals. 3, who do I need to meet? Who, not what. Not what do I need to do? Who do I need to meet to serve me up that $40 billion deal? Because there's going to be a person, and that's the thing that people miss. It's always a who, it's not a what.
That's not a...
Now, what do I need to learn? I don't need to learn. What do I need to manufacture? Okay, I didn't start a health company. I bought one. I didn't start a HVAC company. We basically, HVAC is a massive growing business right now, okay?
Huge.
So heaters, air conditions. So we're incubating a bunch of them. And we'll probably take those public.
You're buying them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're bringing them in. We're managing them. I'll help market for them.
Interesting.
But I didn't start one. I'm watching what Warren does. Warren didn't start a company. Elon did not start Tesla.
Really?
No. So he
bought a technology.
Bill Gates did not start Microsoft. He did not write the code. He bought it. And then he marketed it.
Buy, then build.
Yeah, buy it and then build it. Don't start it from scratch. How many guys you know, I'm going to start my own business?
Well, most of them fail.
Yeah, exactly. And there's 32 million small businesses in America. Nobody's saying, I need another small business.
I've learned a lot by watching you with money too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like what? What's the...
Just
because we have a different
totally
approach.
different.
Talk about that, man.
You're just freer to take risks than I am. You know, I'm not, you know, I have been, you know, all my investments are in real estate that's very stable, almost zero risk over long periods of time. It's a coward's investment, you know. And so I've saved a lot of money, you know. The first 20 years I was in business, I would literally put none of it at risk, because I should be way better off than I am. If I would have taken more risk,
yeah,
I would be 10 times financially better off than I am today. But I didn't because of some of those lessons I learned.
And so what's the difference? How do you see me? Because I don't always see me the same way as other people.
You're less connected to money as a source of security. You know, I see it as a thing of security. You are willing to risk it, I think, because of your corporate experience and how money is done on a corporate level. You know, I've never worked for a company that had, how much money did Clearinghouse have?
30 billion.
Yeah.
But it started with nothing. I mean,
I understand, but they raised money from the capital markets. Yeah. I never had access to any of that. You had access to the whole world. I didn't. You had experience traveling around the world. You moved to Corpus Christi and then to the UK. All those were expansion moves for you that I didn't have. I wasn't on a plane until I was 28 years old.
Yeah.
Didn't travel till I was 30, 31 on a regular basis. And you were already all around the world, dude. So you had a lot more expansion kind of experiences that I didn't have.
Yeah,
and I think you take risks bigger. You're willing to take risks more than I am. My goals are going to lead me to my talent. Okay, talented people the most talented do not win this game. If I could own a football team, I don't need to throw a football or kick one. I could just own the team 100%. Like this whole idea of follow your passion is, again, this is a selfish concept. like the house. You know, it's selfish. I don't want to do that. I don't want to learn that. I don't want to take the time. I don't want to invest my money. I deserve to live in a house. These are all entitlement and selfish concepts, okay? I don't like sales. Very selfish, stupid. I don't want to spend money to market my company. Selfish. We're a word of mouth company. It's completely stupid. What does that even mean? We're word of mouth, okay? That means there's 16 people that talk about your company, and you live where there's on a planet with 8 billion people. So I need to stay small, and I want to control my clients and my customers, and I want to have a boutique. It's selfish. It's selfish. It's small. It's little, and it doesn't work. And so I need to be passionate before I get into it. You have an entitlement problem. I'm not passionate about anything except my goals. There's the goal. There's the dream. Okay, that's what I'm excited about, the dream. I don't know what talent, what skill set, or what people I got or how much misery or pain I got to go. Whatever the goal and the target, let's say it's 100 billion or $1 billion or 10 million or whatever the number is, okay? Or the thing is, I want to raise money to solve water problems, whatever the deal is, right? Then it's like, okay, what skill set do I need? I don't have that skill set. So I'm going to trade money to somebody else that has that skill set. I mean, there's no success without volume.
Okay.
So anybody that's trying to like come up with the thing is trying to get away from the work.
Right.
And so there's no trick in this game. Like if a person wants to be really successful in sales, real estate, acting, you need a lot of hits.
Right.
Right. So like I think everybody's looking for that one thing that gets that in the door and gets that one sale. As opposed to as opposed to, dude, how do I keep calling on the whole neighborhood?
Right.
How do I keep working that neighborhood and then the next neighborhood, and then how do I come back? Because one thing that cold call people do that incorrectly is they canvas cold a neighborhood and they never go back to that neighborhood. But watch, I do. I go back in. So I'm basically following you up.
Okay.
It's somebody once said, hey, somebody else blows up the tire. They blow up the tires and I ride the bike. You know, they get them ready.
Okay.
So that neighbor, that person, that phone call, that door is going to be knocked on again by someone.
Okay.
Now, most people are just not going to go back and hit on it. But the
What about time management issue? What's the time management in terms of new doors versus old doors?
I don't know. The gold is in the follow-up.
Okay, so in other words, you don't have a distinction, because it's a good question, don't you think? That like, when do you know?
Not really. I think it's a bad question.
You think it's a bad question?
I think it's not the right question. I think
when to not to follow.
I think the young salesperson should be taught, hey, look, there's no trick, dude. There's no freaking sweet spot of this game. The sweet spot, if there is a sweet spot, it is about creating tremendous volumes of activity, having lots of people to talk to.
So hitting lots and lots of doors.
Or taking lots of phone calls.
Or hitting doors, or whether it's cold the phone, or doors, right?
Sweet spot,
numbers game, you think?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
But if they know me, rather than me knowing them, if they already know me, then my leverage goes up probably 10x.
Okay. Can you explain that?
Hey, I know you. I saw you in the paper. I saw you on like you know, you get that because people, know about the movie, right? So you immediately have some altitude or lift.
Right.
Because people know you. It's not who I know, it's who knows me.
I had been 20 years of working my butt off, man, saving money, doing all the right things. I call playing by the house rules. Saving my money, planning for retirement, you had a retirement account, everything they tell you to do, paying off your debt and everything. And then when that thing happened, bro, it was like they just came in and started taking everything from me. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't do anything wrong here. Like your dad, like he was victimized by this thing that they do every 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, I was like, the next time this happens, because I couldn't do anything. Because when recessions happen, it provides tremendous opportunities. But I didn't have the courage to do it, and the reason I didn't have the courage is because I didn't have the strategy. I didn't know what to do. And when you don't know what to do, bro, you're like, you just out. There's nothing I could do.
Yeah.
So, and this is how most people live every day, unfortunately.
Right.
And so I told my wife in 2008. That's 14 years ago. 12 years ago. Whatever the number is.
Yeah.
And I said, man, next time this happens, I'm gonna be ready.
Yeah.
This time I'm ready. People are going to lose their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to happen. Could be the biggest thing, greatest thing that ever happens to you, by the way. Yeah, I lost my job, man. I lost a job when I was 29 years old. Best thing that ever happened to me. And I was freaking devastated.
Yeah. But it set you on a course that you...
I had to go do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do... I wanted to quit the job, true.
Right.
You know, I'd been wanting to quit the job for a long time, and a guy one day just out of nowhere said, "Hey, mind your own business." I got pissed off. I left. I don't know if I quit or he fired me, but that became the start of me becoming my own person.
You guys shouldn't have a savings account. That's why you're average. You're victims. You're being victimized by a banking institution that is built around an educational system that supports a government that's fucking you.
So they need to put that money to work. Where are the best places to put it to work?
There's no reason to have 90 days of savings. It's completely ridiculous. This was for banks. Buying houses was for banks. 401ks were for banks. IRAs are for banks. Retirement accounts are for banks. Saving money is for banks. All this is bullshit for the banks. Okay? They do not even do what they tell you guys to do. What they do is you put your money, I don't have any money on me right now, but I did. Don't worry about it. So you take your garbage paper, pounds or US dollars that are going down in value. You trade time to get some money, and then you take the money to the bank and say, "Please take care of my money, Mr. Banker." He's like, "Yeah, I sure will." You know what they do? Within a microsecond, they send the money out. They call me up. "Hey, Cardone, you wanna borrow some of this money?" "Yeah, sure, like to use their money." So people are already investing with me. The people that don't take my advice actually are funding my projects, because they save money.
Your goal should be in the top 1% earners in the country. That's $823,000 a year.
$823,000 a year.
Yeah, $823,000 a year. That should be your first target. If you're a waiter or waitress, I know people in every space.
It's a lot of money.
You know, let me see how much money it really is. $823,000 a year divided by 12. See, everybody goes to think about what they can do now. I'm not. It's not about what. It's about who.
Okay.
Okay. Divided by 12. $68,000 a month divided by, we know that much money is available on the planet, right?
Sure.
Okay, divided by, what is that, 30 days, divided by 24 hours, divided by 60. It's $1.58 a minute.
$1.56.
$1.58 a minute.
$1.58 a minute. Okay.
So I'm going to do the math. It's called the math way.
Yep.
Not the pathway. The math way is the pathway. I need to make $1.58 a minute, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
So that's 823,000 roughly.
Yeah. So that basically says, oh, I got to automate my time. I got to automate. I got to make money while I sleep. This is what we should have been taught in school, man. This is what we should have been taught as kids. Like, how do I do money? You do it with time. Okay. You don't do it with a job. You're not going to get $823,000 a year at a job. There's no job that's going to hire you and pay you $823 without you having to go back to college and spend time and invest money. Just doesn't work like that. So I'm like, okay, where can I get $1.58
a minute?
Or how could I get 823,000 people to give me $1? That's the other way to do it. So what I'm going to do is do a bunch of different math ways. I'm going to do like maybe 12 or 15 different ways to get this much money. Notice I'm following the money right now. I am not doing anything.
Not thinking about
what
how,
do people need? What do people need? What do people want? What's the product? What's the service? What's the idea? What am I passionate about? Dude, I'm just tracking money down. I'm hunting money. I'm hunting a number.
I don't want money. I don't want any money. I want assets. Yeah. So I'm trying to convert this to an asset, but I also need to be diligent to not just waste it. So I'm trying to find assets. I want to collect assets, not cash. I don't want a savings account. I don't want a retirement account. I want assets to pay me. I don't want houses. Houses don't pay me. I want stuff that pays me.
So what's the best asset for someone that doesn't want to be average?
Well, the best asset is you.
Okay.
There's no better asset for him, for you, for your average listener, which, by the way, I don't think you guys are average.
We don't talk to the average anymore.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Okay.
We've only got extraordinary listeners now.
You guys are all extraordinary. No matter what I read or consume or learn, dude, nobody can rob it from me. You can't take it from me. Once I learn something, nobody can steal it. The government, the queen or the king can't tax it. That's the single best investment, as long as you keep doing it. And the second one is going to be your business. If you have your own business or you have a trade or you have something you do well, an occupation, a skill, That's the next best thing. The third thing, the thing that you don't have to trade time and money for, is some asset that will pay you a drip. It's giving you a drip, some drip of money. Like, you don't want your faucets to drip, but you want your money to drip on you. And so for me, that is a real estate asset. Like, we buy Cardone Capital. We got a bunch of English people, by the way. Aren't y'all called English?
Yeah.
British English.
Bunch of British English people that invest with us here in America at Cardone Capital.
I'm in and out in 14 days because I made 3 days of phone calls that were brutal. Hey, I'm coming to San Antonio, man. Will you give me 5 minutes? And this is before anybody knew who I was, right? No books, no kind of notoriety. So they're like, no, don't come by. But see, that was interest. To me, that's interest. No, I'm not interested. Not interested.
So not interested to you is interest.
Well, it is. It says not interested. Not is an adjective to describe interest.
Okay.
Right? So it's a level of interest.
So if someone says they're not
I have,
interested,
on a
then
scale from 0 to 10, what interest level do you have? None. That is a level.
right?
Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You with me? A few minutes ago, he didn't know he didn't know he had no interest. At least I'm on. You see what I'm saying?
I wanted to ask you about that, man, because I've noticed over the last few years you got in way better shape.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like I something I've noticed from afar. It's like, how has that affected your business? Actually, have you made more money as a result?
Well, it makes me feel better about myself, right?
Yeah. Because when you're looking at yourself and you're 10 or 15 pounds overweight or more, you don't feel good about yourself. Your body hurts. You look in the mirror. The mirror don't lie.
Yeah.
And so and at my age, what was happening was I was being forced to do it because my body started hurting. I wasn't using my body, so it starts screaming at me.
Yeah.
Hey man, you ignore me, bro.
Yeah.
Knees, ankles, lower back, everything was hurting. And I'm like, I got to start doing something about this. So there's no shots you can take to fix that.
Yeah.
You have to go do the work.
You got to.
And so I try to get in the gym 7 days a week.
Nice.
I get something in. I don't do a lot. I don't do heavy stuff the way you do. But I do the light stuff, just keep everything moving.
No, but I see the results, over the years.
And it makes me feel better about myself.
It seems like
Does it make me more money? I don't know if it does or not,
Yeah. It doesn't make you less.
No, it doesn't cost me. It doesn't cost me anything. That's for sure.
And you're gonna get more years.
I hope so.
You know what I think about it, man? This may be crazy. I think, okay, the better shape I am, the longer I live, the more the money can compound.
Yeah.
I think about that from that perspective.
You could rent an apartment, a flat, and your family's just as safe. And by the way, your money's safer. And take the money that you save renting and take it and go invest in some property or invest in your business or invest in marketing is a much better investment than buying a house. Okay. I could take you for the last 100 years, people that bought single family homes to live in for themselves and their family. First of all, you're going to get rid of it. Why buy something you're going to get rid of? If you're going to get rid of it, use it. Just rent it and use it. And take the money that you would have spent buying that house. Elon Musk has 0 houses, none. He has nothing to do with homes. He's like, I'm building space shuttles and cars and trucks. I have no interest in a house. Why? Because he doesn't want to be distracted by where he lives. He wants to be mobile and move around the planet. Steve Jobs owned one home his whole entire life. Warren Buffett had one house his whole life. He's got $200 billion under his control. He focuses on his business, not on where he lives.
Do you own a home?
Yeah, I own 2 of them. It's still stupid.
Right.
Buffett and some of these, big financial guys saying to diversify your money.
Yeah. But they don't. They don't.
They don't do that.
No. His first score was Geico. He put all his money in Geico. Elon had all his money in PayPal. Okay. Sold it PayPal. He didn't invest half of it. He invested 100% of it. Didn't have any money left over to buy a house. He invested all his money in 3 companies that he owned. Today, I think he's got 6 investments. He owns every one of the companies. How much of Twitter did he buy? All of it. Steve Jobs had 2 investments when he died, Apple and Pixar. Warren Buffett started with one, took a bigger position. His position grew, so he ends up with more money, so he went and bought a second company.
Right.
Okay, and he bought a major position. Like he's got major long-term positions in these companies. And then what did he do? He started raising money. That's the other thing people should be doing. People should be raising money. Communities of people should be gathering to raise money together, to be partners. That's what the middle class doesn't do. I don't want any partners. I don't want any employees. I want to keep it all for myself. I want to stay small. I'm going to dream big, but I'm going to stay small. And they don't, dude. They partner. Look at Warren's never started a company. He doesn't manage anything. Every company he buys, takes a major position. They all cash flow. He understands the company. He does not buy trends, ever.
No trends.
Never touches a trend. He jumped into Apple. I think Apple was 22 years old when he jumped into it.
Yeah,
So
and
they-
there
they
are
s-
things they need to say, but at the end of the day, if he's talking to 10 people a day and another guy's talking to 200 people a day, the guy that talks to 200 is going to win the game. And if there's one skill you want to learn is how to move through 200 without it causing you. It's like the ball players. You see these guys playing ball. They don't get upset because they lose a game. Like it doesn't bother them. They're in it for the long run. They're and this is what the sales guy or sales manager doesn't know. You got to get people ready for the long game.
Okay. So, like, what is a sales guy, a young guy who's struggling? What would be the first thing you'd say to a guy, struggling salesperson?
Help somebody else, maybe. Maybe if you're struggling so bad, don't work on your own deals right now. Go help somebody. Like anytime I had a
struggling
slump,
automobile salesman.
I had a slump.
Okay.
I had a slump. First thing I do with a slump, the thing that has never let me down is helping somebody else.
In what sense? Meaning
Help another salesperson. Hey, Jordan, I'll help you on your deals.
Got
What
it.
do you want for that? Nothing.
Okay.
Just give me the list of people you talked to yesterday, because I'm fucking up my own deals.
Okay.
Just give me your list. I'll call them. What do you want for it? Nothing, dude. All I'm trying to do is get out of my slump, bro. And I'll try shit with your customers that I won't try on mine because I'm desperate with mine. So I just go into charity mode.
Got it.
And that helped me when I was 25. I went to a treatment center for drug addiction. And that's the first time I was able to
We
start
have that in common, as you probably know. What was your drug of choice, by the way?
any drug.
Not as many as me. Well, maybe it was. I don't know. Well,
Any drug.
yeah, me too. So, you know,
Terrible. The thing that motivates me is success. It is the best drug in the world. And nobody talks about it. My drug of choice is winning. And the more I win, the more I want to win. Go get on the Gulf Stream. Go get on my plane one day. Let me fly you guys from here to back to London on my 650. You'll be
We'd
fucked
love
up.
that,
You'll be
yeah.
fucked up forever. What happens is most of the people watching right now never had the experience. We never put our feet in anything that's amazing. So the guy's like, I don't need to fly private. I don't need a mansion. You've never been in one, man. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't have, I don't need money. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't understand, like, well, I had money once. No, you didn't have enough money. Okay. I went big and it didn't work. No, you went big and stopped. You should have gone bigger to find out what big was. Like, most people just don't have the experience. This is why in black communities and brown communities, the kids don't have any examples. Even in white communities, like if you grew up poor, white, single mom, you don't have any examples of like possibilities. So you're like, okay, I'm going to get a good job and I'm going to be grateful for my job. And so there's nobody saying, and this is why this is such an important time right now, because a guy like me can show you my plane. Now, when I show the plane or the helicopter or the house in Malibu, okay, or my dreams, I'm going to get a bunch of hate with it, but only from people that have given up, not from people above me in the food chain. Above me in the food chain, the only person that would hate on my style is somebody that actually is tapping out on the hustle. Elon would never, ever, ever have disdain for my hustle. He'd be like, yeah, bro, go. But let's say there was a rich guy out there that is no longer actively pushing, shoving, hiring, growing. He's going to be like, why you got to show your shit off? Because I'm irritating him. He's like, you're in the game. So, and anybody that's given up on the game is always going to hate me.
That's the mistake I made, dude. Like, the first mistake I made was nobody said, hey, man, you could make $1 billion a year if you wanted to. You don't have to make $1 million.
That was never the target for you.
No, all the
You weren't
books,
thinking
all
that
the
way.
books, everything we're told was to be a millionaire. You know, be a millionaire, or just make enough money to be happy, or just make enough money to pay off all your bills, or you got to reduce your spending. You know, everything is about don't go get coffee, you know, buy a used truck, don't get debt. Everything's about what not to do rather than what to do, what you can do. The financial planners tell you what not to spend rather than telling you, how do I create wealth for myself?
I don't lose money. You give me $5,000 and you come see me 15 years from now. If I could mark that $5,000, I could show you that same 5,000 again. Now,
I will lose the money the $5,000 earns. So once I invest the 5,000 and it pays me $50, that's what I spend. I never spend the first 5. Like if your audience had one takeaway here, I never spend the money I earn, ever, never. If he gives me a job and he pays me $100,000, I will never spend the first 100. I will spend the earnings from the 100. So if the earnings pay me 10,000, that's all I spend for rent, food, water, clothing, gifts, until I have enough money, until I have enough hundreds invested to improve the quality of my life. That's when I improve the quality of my life. I do not improve the quality of my life on earnings, but I'm unselfish.
Hey, thank you very much for watching this video until its very end. I highly appreciate it. So I hope it was useful for you. If it was, give me a like and follow my YouTube channel. If it wasn't, give me a dislike and still follow my YouTube channel because I already work on the next video like this. Thank you very much and see you soon.
There's nothing it doesn't buy.
Come on.
Even health.
Come on.
You want better health?
Yeah.
Takes money.